Hello everybody, we're coming for the second part of today in our next edition on the Mariani TV show. How are we all doing today? This is just another video I just made on the same day because guess what? A good idea came to my mind and I said I must talk about it today. Do you know what that is? From the WHO, we're going to talk about what mental disorder is. So I got very good definitions from the WHO. I could not wait to share this with you. And that is why today, unlike other days, we're having two videos shot on the same day. So get on with me. Let's listen to this. Okay? So according to the WHO, what is mental health disorder? I'm going to read from their definition so we can pick up what mental health disorder is. It says, a mental disorder is characterized by a clinically significant disturbance in an individual's cognition, emotional regulation, or behavior. It is usually associated with distress or impairment in important areas of functioning. There are many different types of mental disorders. Before we get to the types of disorders that WHO, the World Health Organization, has brought out for us, when we look at this definition of mental disorder, do we think we are part of it? Do we think we are mentally disturbed? I guess there's a part in almost everybody's life where they are mentally disturbed. Their mental health is imbalanced. It has a disorder. That's what I think. According to this definition, I'm very sure almost everybody, if not all, goes through a mental health disorder. Let's look at the kinds of mental disorders that we have according to the WHO. The first one, the very first one that they gave us is anxiety disorder. Have you ever been anxious in your life? I have been several times. I get so anxious. I get so worried. I get so shaky, like I'm shaky, it's gonna bubble my stomach, it makes me sometimes throw up, I'm so scared. That is anxiety disorder. Let's read what they tell us. It says, it's giving us some statistics. In 2019, 301 million people were living with an anxiety disorder, including 58 million children and adolescents. I know I'm inside. You see that number? I'm inside. Yes, I'm inside. Do you think you are? Let's ride on. Anxiety disorders are characterized by excessive fear and worry and related behavioral disturbances. That's what I said. When you're frightened, when you're worried, when you're stressed, you're going through anxiety disorder. Do we have times in our life that we are so anxious that it is more than being just scared or worried? Yes. Sometimes you can be scared or worried for something that doesn't really matter, but you go through some fear and worriness that makes you sick. You have anxiety disorder. Another kind of mental disorder that the WHO expresses and tells us is depression. And the statistics is still drawn from 2019. It says, in 2019, 280 million people were living with depression, including 23 million children and adolescents. I'm inside. Have you ever been depressed? Let's see what depression is. Then we can place ourselves which of these mental health disorders we usually have and see where we need help. Depression is different from usual mood fluctuations and short-lived emotional responses to challenges in everyday life. During a depressive episode, the person experiences feeling sad, irritable, empty, or a loss of pleasure or interest in activities. When you're depressed, you don't want to do anything. You're always sad. You just lay in your room or on your bed. You keep sighing. You don't want to watch TV. You don't want to talk to anyone. You're just so miserable. You're going through depression. You're depressed. They have bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder, according to their statistics, in 2019, 40 million people experienced bipolar disorder. People with bipolar disorder experience alternating depressive episodes with periods of manic symptoms. During a depressive episode, the person experiences depressed mood, like feeling sad, irritable, empty, which is similar to the definition of depression. All of these are similar. People with bipolar are always changing their moods. They have a mood swings. Do your moods always change? Do you have a mood swings? If you are one of those kind of people, you have a mental imbalance. We have post-traumatic stress disorder, which we spoke about in our last video. What is PTSD? PTSD is another mental disorder. It's high in conflict-affected settings. That is where PTSD is high in. PTSD may develop following exposure to an extremely threatening or horrific event or series of events, like I explained on the last video. For example, when someone dies who is close to me, I get terrified. I'm so scared. It makes me sick. It turns my stomach up, like my stomach. That is part of PTSD. You shiver. That is part of PTSD. Another mental health disorder is the schizophrenia. According to WHO, it affects approximately 24 million people, or 1 in 300 people worldwide. People with schizophrenia have a life expectancy 10 to 20 years below that of the general population. Schizophrenia is characterized by significant impairments in perception and changes in behavior. Are you one of those who are suffering from schizophrenia? Another one we have is eating disorders. Oh my God. You know you are stressed when your eating habit is so corny. You have the eating disorders. That's when you know you're stressed. Let's see, in 2019, 14 million people experienced eating disorders, including almost 3 million children and adolescents. That is a high rate. That is a high rate, people. Are you one of those who experience eating disorders? These are some of the signs of mental health. I hope this is going to help us. I hope along this journey with what we have known mental health is today, we're going to keep up trying to follow up and discover who we are, what our mental weaknesses are, and what therapies we can try to follow up with to help us with these mental disorders. Thank you all so much for being with me today. We are going to be very, very current as from today, I promise. So I'm looking forward to having some mental health students who will come and we talk about what took them into the mental health profession. So until then, see you next time.